All right, good morning, class. As you may or may not be aware, someone in my fourth block Earth Science class was um, tested positive for COVID. And so the entire fourth block Earth Science class, as well as myself, um, are self quarantined for 2 weeks and working remotely. Right, so Coach Halo and Coach Yarborough will be watching the classes for 2 weeks and want to thank them a lot for that. And I hope you guys are good for them during this time. Okay, so as how it's going to work for the next 2 weeks is everyone will be working remotely, whether you're at home or in class. Okay, so you should have access to the computers in class from the science cart, and this shouldn't be a problem. Um, okay, so even if you're in class, if you're A day and you're in class, or if you're B day and you're in class, you're going to need to take sign in for attendance. So you'll sign in for attendance even if you're remote or in class. Everybody has to sign in for attendance so that I can take roll at home and submit the attendance from home. Okay, so make sure you do that very first thing as soon as it's the class time. And as you know, the class times are posted right here. Okay. Um, the next thing I need you to do is go to this week's lessons. Okay. You're not going to see the assignments in your to do list anymore. Shouldn't anymore from me. I don't like students accessing the assignments that way because they're all out of order and you're not seeing the whole picture of what's coming up. For instance, a lot of students seem to be surprised that you had a vocabulary quiz and a test, although it had been posted for an entire week. All right, so after you do attendance, go to this week's lessons, which is right here. Okay, give that a minute. All right, so we're still in scientific measurements for now. Uh, Midway through this week, we'll go into the next unit, though, which is properties of matter. Okay, so Um, all of the lessons are here, and this is going to become important for you today. All right, so the lessons from the very first day, they've always been here. Some of you have not been aware of that, evidently, but they are. They're always here. Okay. The reason why that's important is each of you has been sent a Google Doc that contains your missing work, and I'll go over that in a minute. But the Google Doc will have your missing assignments. Okay, so if we click here on makeup work, it'll explain what you're supposed to be doing with your makeup, with that Google Doc and all your missing work. Okay, so you're getting a chance to make up your work before the progress report time comes. And so you have all the way until Wednesday to get this done so that when that progress report is sent home, you're not sitting there with a 10% like some of you are. Okay, so like I said, a Google Doc has been created and shared with each of you that lists all of the work you are currently missing or need to redo in order to improve your grade. So some of you did so very poorly on some of the assignments, and so as you get a chance to boost the grade, to retake it, to make up that, to redo the assignment, to retake a test, or retake a quiz as well if you didn't pass it. Okay. In order to retake that test, though, you've got to have all that other work done before you can do that. All right. To access that Google Doc, okay, what you're going to do, go into your school email. All right. Okay. So once you're in your school email, click on this waffle that's right up here in the right hand corner. Okay. And that's called the waffle. That's its official name. Right, so then this comes up, all the stuff from Google. All right, so you're going to go to Sheets. I've also been sent it in an email, and so you can also access it through just an email that's from me. But in case you can't find that email or delete it by mistake or something. Okay, when you go there, you should be able to find, you should be able to find that Google Sheet here, and it's going to be labeled either as fully remote or as A-Day, and it'll have missing work for and your name, okay? So whatever group you're in, whether you're in A-Day, B-Day, or fully remote, have that missing work and then your name, all right? Then you just click on that link, click on the sheet. Everything's a little bit slower when we're recording here. All right, so on the sheet, when you click on the sheet, this will open up, right? And it will have dates, and it'll have a list of tasks, all right? And up here we'll have a counter, all right? As you do the assignments, when you complete them and submit them into Canvas, go ahead and check them off. All right, let me see something. Let me create a task here. All right. I don't know. All right, so when you complete it, you'll just check it off. All right, and see how it's keeping count up here. All right, so I'll be able to see this because it is shared. It is a shared document. It's also been shared with Coach Yarborough and Coach Halo, so they'll be able to make sure that you're working on your list. And it's also been shared with the counselors in the school for when they talk to you about how you're doing in your classes. All right. Okay, so that's how this list works. All right, let me go back to here. All right, so when you look at your tasks list, I don't want to open somebody's personal one. It'll, and you see your assignments, and it'll have the date. Okay, if you need to find the assignments, go back to the home page. All right, so go back to home. Okay. All right. So when you go back to home, go back to this week's lessons. Okay, so remember, you'll have a date and you'll have the name of the individual assignment that you need to do. Okay, but you remember how I've set up the course is that we have, there's lessons, like lesson on the metric system. But within the lesson on the metric system, there's like 4 different activities. All right, so let's say you had something from lesson on the metric system. Say you had to redo the I can statements. All right, so you'll have a date. Now, I may have made a mistake on the date because they're all different. Like at Group A, Group B, and Group Fully Remote, FR, is all different, all on different dates. Every single, well, these two are the same, but these are different dates. Okay, so I may have made a mistake, but they'll be around there. So, look for the date, look for the lesson, click on the lesson. Let's say, like I said, let's say you needed to redo the I can statements, or you didn't do them, so you need to do them now. All right, so you click on the lesson on this week's lessons. All right, and then the lesson page opens up. Okay, so then you find the lesson that you need to redo. All right, so say it's that PowerPoint with the I can statements. Okay, so then you're going to click on that do the assignment, submit the assignment, and then okay, and remember, okay, so if there's more assignments within that metric system lesson, you can click on the next and the previous to move around. Like this will take you to the next assignment within that metric lesson, right? So converting between the units if you needed to make that up, or the review quiz. Right, but if yours won't work this slow. Remember, any lesson ends with the review quiz, so that after the review quiz, you hit next, it takes you to the next lesson. So the next lesson after this would be on metric measurements. Okay, so and if you're missing something from there, you can look at there. All right, but so you can navigate through hitting that next and previous, or you can always go home, back to this week's, and go back to this week's lesson. Right, and go back to this week's lesson, and it takes you back to all the lessons. Okay, all right, so that's how you're going to find your missing assignments. All right, that'll take you back to the calendar that's down there. All right, so if you are finished with all of your lessons, and some of you have done really good keeping up with all the lessons, and you've done well on the tests and the quizzes. If you're finished, then you're going to play a game. Okay, so under this week's lesson, I'm going to click off of that bar. Okay, so under this week's lesson, go to Global Defense Game. Okay, and actually each of you needs to do this before you even do the makeup work, even begin on the makeup work. I need you to sign up today for the Global Defense Game and there'll be a short survey, and take that survey. Okay, the deadline for that is tomorrow. So I need you to do that today. Any of you that haven't, I'll be emailing and calling your house to get you to do that today. All right, so just do that before you even start on the makeup work. All right, so when you click on Global Defense Game, all right, so this is what the game looks like. Kind of, you can see what it is, but it's a video game. Sorry. Okay, so it's a video game, and it is based on chemistry. You're going to be learning chemistry while you do it. And there's a short trailer video just to show you a little bit how it works. Here is a review of two students, this one's a former chemistry student, and that's one that's just beginning chemistry. And they're playing the game, and then they give a review on it, if they liked it or not, which, obviously they use somebody that liked it. Okay, so what you need to do first is to create a student account. And so here's a short tutorial on how to do that. Where you will go once you watch the tutorial is click on this link, and it will take you to where you will sign up for it. Okay, you need to sign up with your school email. Use your student password. That way you won't forget it. Just be easier. Okay, and then your username needs to be your real name, not a made-up name. Okay, I don't want to hear, it's your real name, so I know who it is, because you will be graded on this. Not necessarily how well you play the game, but that you're participating in the game, how long you're on the game, that type of thing. Okay, because I will have access to your game times and how well you're doing in the game. All right. When you sign up, you will need to put in a classroom code. So first block's classroom code is right here. Second block is right here. Please sign up for the right class or else I'll have to remove you and you'll have to redo it again. Right, so make sure you know whether you're in first block or second block. All right. Okay, so that's it. That's what you'll be doing for the next 3 days, and then after that, we'll start the next unit on properties of matter. Okay, so hope everything's okay, or hope everything goes okay with you guys this next 2 weeks. If you have any questions or anything, of course, you can email me, and I'll email you back. All right. Okay. See you later.